Oh my God.
We're online. Yeah, that is about creating, and that is way back. Now I'm in India. Hello, people. This is Kavita Kapoor Khalsa with Expose, and today I have a special guest and very unique guest. She's from Hyderabad, and her name is Kanika Jain. अब इनकी तारीफ में क्या क्या बोलूं, बिकॉज इनके साथ मैंने बहुत सारी क्लासेस भी करी है. आई मेट हर एंड शी इज अ लेडी विद फुल ऑफ vibrance and generosity of spirit is unmatched. Okay, I haven't come across a person who has the kind of loving, contributive energy that she has. But having said that, she's not just that. She's the founder of Unoya, which is also a self-transformational healing at the root level. Consciousness of self is what she, like, you know, what a transformation coach does, and counseling for self-growth and a lot of stuff, and also an access bars facilitator, contributing to people in a lot of modalities under the umbrella of access. She's been empowering people for a very long time, and empowered herself first. So let's hear it from her story, her journey, because it's amazing. Okay, and not because I'm telling you, hear it for yourself. Thank you, Kanika, for coming on.
Thank you, Kavita, for inviting me. And that was a brilliant introduction. I have no words, even though, you know, some of the words I knew.
But before we go ahead, she's a fantastic painter, a chef, and the painting that is behind her is being painted by her. So if you want to buy it, you know, you can do some auction stuff and, you know, sell your things and make money out of it.
So thank you so much. So these are, like, you know, the side interests that I have, vocational interests that I have. Okay. Yeah, so where do you want me to start? Like my journey?
What got you into access? इतनी multi-talented and तो ये access और healing ये कैसे हुआ? Like what was like before you got into it?
Okay, so okay, I'll start. Okay, so the thing is, I'd always been working before marriage. I was a PR, public relations and corporate communications. I was into advertising, and even I worked for Times of India and Indian Express. I was acting like a journalist for them.
Oh, wow.
But then, you know, this was before marriage, and it was a full-time employment, and I enjoyed, because I got to learn so much about communication, about PR, about, you know, getting out there, speaking to public, and, you know, making ads for companies and stuff like that. But then after marriage, I mean, I got married, and then after marriage, you know how it is, like in most of the Marwadi families, that, you know, you be at home, and then, yeah, I would say that 10 years of those, that being married was an excellent journey, because in that way, I enhanced my cooking skills too. I took a lot of cooking classes with people, so there was no dearth of classes. I was still taking classes, but it wasn't like, you know, I didn't consider as a profession, because I'm like doing it for time pass.
You still married? 10 years of being married, you still married, right?
Yes, I am still married, very happily married.
Right.
Thank you for that.
I was married. I was like, hello.
Yeah, I'm still married, but 10 years of my marriage, I really did not take up like as a professional course with anything. But then I did teach a lot of cooking. I was teaching painting, and, you know, whatever like a normal, you know, a housewife would do. So I was still creating money, still doing a lot of other creations. But, you know, yet there was a lack, in the sense, there were some relationship issues I had with my in-laws and with my co-sisters and stuff. And that needed to be sorted out. And by then I had no tools, I had no transformation modalities, I had nowhere to go to. And in Hyderabad, there was this facilitator, and you know, a CF would come down to take certain classes. And I approached her. I was like, listen, this is the problem. Can you help me out? So then she's like, she didn't help me out at all. She just asked me questions after questions after questions. I was like, what is she doing? Isn't she supposed to give me any answers? Because I was looking for answers. I was seeking answers. And this is how, you know, like you tell children.
Yeah.
सबको जवाब चाहिए, right? सबको solution चाहिए, you know, planning चाहिए, strategy चाहिए. So all of that, but she didn't, you know, she empowered me to no extent that one day of conversation with her led me to a bars class the next day. Okay. And immediately I chose my foundation class. Okay. Wow. Money just showed up. I just asked somebody and then she just gave it to me. So money is like anywhere. Money, you being the energy of money, money will come to you. Okay, it's just that. And then after bars class and after the foundation class, there was no looking back. I think immediately after 2 months, I did Dane's ESB and then body classes after, and then I did a lot of money classes. So you name it, I've done it all under the umbrella of Access.
So basically, your family or like your in-laws or whoever, there is co-sisters, you know, kind of you could gather yourself to go and say कि अभी मुझे ये बदलना है.
Oh, thank you for that. It wasn't easy in the beginning to convince my folks that, you know, I need to do so and so classes, I need to travel, and you know, I need to meet this facilitator called Dr. Dane. He's like, who the hell is Dr. Dane? We don't even know who he is. So I was like, without any explanation, okay. I was lucky in that sense. So I was like, okay, they were like, okay, do the classes. The reason being because I started seeing a lot of changes into me. The hyper Kanika became more calmer. The person who was very judgmental, I was very judgmental because I would judge left, right, center. I would get angry, and you know, there was a paranoia, there was a fear that log kya kahenge types. All of that actually vanished just with a single bars class, because you know, this that 3,000 years lifetime ke, all that memory, thought, feeling, and emotion just vanished with one bars class. That is what happened with me. And with the tools of foundation, and this was way back in 2015, okay, and with the tools and for foundation, it drastically changed my life. I have no cognitive words with how it did, but on an energetic level, it just did. Okay, it just did. And then luckily people started showing up for bars session. I was not a bars facilitator by then. Then I gave them a lot of tools with the foundation, as simple as the 10 commandments of Access. And things are shifting, things are changing. And I'm so grateful for these tools. Had it not been there, I would not have survived for 6 years into my Access journey.
Wow.
And yeah, and then there was no turning back. Uske baad, then I became a bars facilitator, then I became a body process facilitator. So body process facilitator, I just became for a year. After that, I quit because, you know, because of whole of other commitments too. And that's a different story altogether. But yeah, and I'm so grateful for these tools. And
this is a beautiful journey. You tell me, you know, is there any experience you would like to share ki kisi ka life, because you were also a facilitator, so how you empowered somebody and how and what changed in their life?
Oh, there are so many, but so there have been, you know, so I wouldn't name this lady. So this lady, again, in a very typical, I don't know, I attract such ladies who are in joint families because I guess they resonate with me, because if I can do it, so can do it. They do, you know. So a lot of ladies from joint family system and people with a lot of relationship and money issues would come to me, and I would give them certain tools as bean allowance, you know, so as simple tool as bean allowance, an interesting point of view, and energy pull. Oh, that energy pull tool is like massive. Okay, so I gave them these few tools. They practiced it. I was like a commitment guru. I was like, you have to do it. So every day I would give them a call. Did you do it? Can I be of any help? Do you need any contribution? How did it go? So there was a regular feedback I needed from them. And they were like, Kanika is driving us crazy. We have to change, otherwise she'll drive us crazy. You know, so in that case, so those ladies eventually, after doing a week of just using those tools without even, you know, learning a bars class, I did run their bars, but without even running, without even coming for a bars class, they changed their relationship with their in-laws, husband. They started speaking up in the sense where they were like very docile. They became more extrovert. They wanted to kind of just communicate their rights, because somewhere, you know, in a joint family, your voice gets really numbed. Absolutely. And the male power is much more than a female power, and which is very obvious in India, especially in India. So that changed, you know, they became more vocal about their needs, about their desires, about what they wanted out of their life. And, you know, so all of these changes, they built it up, and then they chose classes with me and even with other facilitators like CFs and stuff. So yeah, and children, oh my God, I've had a couple of other children whose marks in the exams just shot up. Yeah, the exam results were like really great by just running few bar sessions, and they became
mothers, so that bars, or you would run their bars and then the.
So there are all kinds of women who would keep themselves at the backside, and they would bring the children and the family at the forefront. Okay, so I was like, "Tika, if you guys don't want, at least get your children." So that's how I got children, just pure children. Okay.
Wow.
I ran their bars, and these are amazing receptors. More than women, I think these children are amazing receptors. They would just lie down, get the bars done, snore away. They would not ask me any question, even though I would give them a little tools. And then, after the exam, they would call us, auntie, we got that much marks, and we scored so high. And I was like, oh God, this is like magic.
Did that not inspire their mothers to learn it for once, or nahi, kanika, jo karna hai.
In fact, the mothers did come. They all took bars classes. So I guess they were all, channels.
Yeah. So those kids became the channel for you to train their mothers, basically, right?
Yeah, and they came too, because
what's your favorite tool? The one you
okay. So one of my favorite tools that I consistently use is being in allowance and interesting point of view.
So how and where you use it for just our viewers?
Yeah. So you know what? It's not only with people that I use interesting point of view, it's with every situation that happens in my life. Say as simple as I go into the wrongness of maids not coming into my house. Okay. Right. And then I stop. Okay, interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I can't do away with maid. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. I can't do away with maid. Okay. Say, for example, in this Corona time, I had this weird point of view that I can't take online classes and I have to take physical bars classes. Or probably I didn't take any online classes. Frankly speaking, I don't like taking bars classes and online. I did a lot of physical classes, and I just don't like it. That's how I am. Okay.
It's online, but it's still fun to have live people coming over.
Yeah, and I like the touch of people. I like touching them. I like interacting with them. That's who I am. Yeah. Okay, so I did create I did create a lot of bars classes, but the joy of using the tool is you stop going into the wrongness of you. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I'm bad with online classes. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I need live classes. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I have to have it in my house. So I have a beautiful space and stuff. I have a clinic there. So all of these points, the interesting point of view tool works like magic, because just makes you in a state of allowance, and you don't go into the right and wrong part of it, the good and bad part of it. There's no polarity existing in your life. It's just an interesting point of view.
You're not fighting for or against, you're not resisting, you're not reacting, you're just not aligning or agreeing, you're just being. Okay.
And even if you are resisting and reacting, is as good as for 10 seconds. So there's another tool that I use is living in 10-second increment, because I do resist, yaar. Who doesn't react? That 10-second increment that's all. 10 seconds, done, over, out. I've screwed myself enough. Now I need to
I need to get out of this. Okay.
Get out of all of this.
You can just simply switch over to something which is right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then there are more expansion exercises are there. When you feel a little contracted, just expand yourself out into the universe. Yes. And then energy pulls. Oh God, these energy flows that are there in the foundation manual is amazing. I have created a lot.
Amazing. I like the new manual which is already out, so people, you can choose your nearest foundation class. So
I've yet to do that, because I'm looking forward to do another foundation class, and I'm I wonder what the new foundation manual holds. So I've done some 8-9 foundation classes already, because I purposefully choose to do a foundation, or either I host or something of that sort. But every foundation manual has so many nuances, so many new stuff in that. So you just are hooked on to it.
Every facilitator gives you a new perspective, which you know the tool, but the perspective changes, every time you do it. So that's so much of fun. And so, okay, that gets me to my next session. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, that's a big one. So that got me thinking. There's not an impromptu answer here now.
Yeah.
So there's lots in the pipeline, Kavita. There's lots. I mean, I've got the energy of everything. For example, as simple as I want to open up, I want to reach out to, these schools and colleges where there are students who are looking for all of this. So I haven't got the chance to do. That's in the pipeline right now. Then there is another stuff where I'm in this club called Fiki Club, where there are 150 members there. So I plan to reach out to them to at least make them know that such access thing is available, you know. So, so there's lots in the pipeline.
Wow.
Not only with access, I have chalked out a whole lot of menu with my cooking classes, my own creation. So I want to get that out also right now.
Like
So
like
there's a
channel
whole
thing or something on those lines? Channel, YouTube channel stuff and all that people put out.
yeah, a lot of people have told me that, but as of now, I have not. I've just started my own. So I'm working on my website also. That's going to take a while. It's under construction. It's going to take a while, but YouTube channel will follow suit. Yeah, ask you shall receive. I know will work with me. So I just have to ask right now.
It's all there. It just energetically has to now physically actualize. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. So to wrap it up, I want you to, leave our people with some words. What would you like people to kind of know if we were to wrap up this show?
Okay.
From your side.
So there's this quote by Dr. Dane here. Okay. In fact, just today morning I posted in various groups. It's like no matter how wrong you think you are, no matter how screwed up you think you are, okay, but there is always possibility. Okay. We tend to look at the limitations, because when we think we're all screwed up, we tend to go down the rabbit hole. But
Yes.
always ask, there is a possibility for creating something greater. Ask, okay, what else is possible that I've not considered? What else is possible that I've not considered? Keep asking this question, what else is possible? What else is possible? Because there is always possibility, whether be it financial possibility, relationship possibility, body possibility, your finances, your money, everything can change by just one simple tool of, okay, what else is possible that I've not considered? And follow the energy, just don't sit and ask, make choices, take actions accordingly, that will come into fruition. All of these possibilities will come, but you've got to be in the question, you've got to take action, you've got to be committed to your life. All of that. Do energy pulls. I mean, there's a whole lot. And then choose the foundation classes.
If you're going to think, and nothing is going to get created. So stop thinking, people. Just start choosing more for you. I know, maybe, like a lot of people say access classes, it's the mega, like it can be intimidating for a lot of people. Like, I had people telling me today, धक्का लगता है, लेकिन but then when they choose it, oh my God, वो धक्के से वो जो energy बाहर निकलती है ना, it's like explosion. It's amazing.
Yeah, in fact, Kavita, I had this point of view from the longest time. Okay, access classes, it is expensive. And a lot of people have put it into my world. Theta healing is, Reiki is easier, and other modalities way lesser.
Yes.
So you don't define the value of the class by money. That's it's not like diamond. The higher you pay, the bigger it is. It's not like that. It's like you'll get the value in whatever you choose. Yes, access is priced higher because somewhere the change is quicker. It's way quicker, yeah. It's very practical. I mean, that's what I think. And why not? And after doing these classes, I know you can create that kind of mind. Not only after, even before, by doing the energy pulls, by asking the universe, you are going to create the money. Okay, it's not that
not very concept that we're talking about. We've changed our life, and we're just setting ourselves free on a daily basis. So could you. So if you are looking out for your nearest Bal's class in Hyderabad, I would recommend go to Kanika because she's amazing with her concepts. And
or call me. I'm ready to come.
If you want anything, ask her. She will get it created. That's the creator energy she has, and also connected too. Thank you so much, Kanika, for your rich experience, because 6 years is a long time in access. So I mean, a lot of people come, they get what they want, and then they leave it. But to kind of be there and keep upgrading and stepping up your game is a phenomenal quality that not many people have. So congratulations to that. And the courage to be vulnerable and to be seen and to speak to people and talk about, oh, you know what, I was there too, and here I am. So thank you for sharing your experience with the world. And
thank you so much, Kavita.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.